Alrighty, it's been a while since I did something podcasty, but we got a lot of ground to cover. Congratulations to the WGA. I was rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for SAG-AFTRA as well. And while we're on the subject, I'm rooting for the UAW too. No justice, no Jeeps. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about clickbait. This is basically a tale of two articles, one of which is about a filmmaker who's contemplating his own life, and yet Twitter jumps on two lines. He says, not his illustrious career, not his decisions in filmmaking. No, two lines about fucking comic book movies. And then we have the other. We have the other article that dropped today, which is Rolling Stone putting out a bunch of pissy clickbait called The 50 Worst Decisions in Movie History. And I want to talk about both of these and why I despise clickbait. If you've read the actual GQ interview like I did, it's actually an education on filmmaking. You're reading a man bare his soul to the world, and for what all we know, he could drop dead tomorrow, and this could be the very last thing he says. Killers of the Flower Moon could very well be his last movie. But it all comes down to one line that I'm going to pull up towards the end of the interview. And it comes from this paragraph. They already think that, which means we have to then fight back stronger. And it's got to come from the grassroots level. It's got to come from the filmmakers themselves. And you'll have, the Safdie brothers. And you'll have Chris Nolan. You know what I mean? And him from all sides. Hit him from all sides and don't give up. Let's see what you got. Go out there and do it. Go reinvent. Don't complain about it. But it's true, because we've got to save cinema. Cinema could be anything, Scorsese said. It didn't just have to be serious. Some like it hot, that was cinema, for instance. But, quote, I do think that the manufactured content isn't really cinema. And then he follows that up with, no, I don't want to say it. But what I mean is that it's manufactured content. It's almost like AI making a film. And that doesn't mean you don't have incredible directors and special effects people doing beautiful work. But what does it mean? What do these films, what will it give you? Aside from a kind of consummation of something and then eliminating it from your mind. Your whole body, So what is it giving you? Okay, so here we go. He doesn't once say anything about superhero movies. He's basically talking about the red notices, the hardest stones of the world. Not fucking comic book movies. And everybody wants to make Martin Scorsese this fucking enemy to blockbuster filmmaking when he did a lengthy op-ed about how much he loved the hell out of Pearl, a horror movie about a woman's descent into madness, which features insanely brutal kills. And you guys are like, oh no, fuck Martin Scorsese because he dares to call out the MCU. Yeah, they should be called out. Did you not hear some random character say drink the ooze in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? Or Emilia Clarke jumping the shark and raping it in fucking Secret Invasion? Scorsese is fucking right. Or did you guys miss what he said about The Departed? Wherein Warner Brothers, who is the big enemy to entertainment right now, basically took Martin Scorsese aside. Martin goddamn Scorsese, the guy who made them their fucking bank, and goes, what's happening? Yeah, if you could just keep either Leonardo DiCaprio or Matt Damon alive, that'd be great. We want to make this a franchise. It's at that very moment Scorsese cut ties with Warner Brothers, in which he gave that studio Mean Streets, Goodfellas, The Departed, The Aviator. All of his bangers came through fucking Warner Brothers. And Warner Brothers only thought of a franchise. That's what he's talking about when he says all that. Now, comic book movies are the fucking devil. When you read the GQ interview, you see a man facing his mortality. And it frustrates me to no end to see Variety and THR latch on to the clickbaity fucking quote that doesn't in any way, if you read the entire interview, talk about comic book movies, but rather content. Like I said, the Heart of Stones, the Red Notices, the fucking dime a dozen fucking bullshit you see on streaming services. But after reading probably one of the most powerful reads of this morning, not 2 hours before I turned on this microphone, did I read one of the worst pieces of fucking clickbait I've ever read in my life. And it came from the goddamn Rolling Stone. Let me tell you something. Rolling Stone is one of 3 magazines I've ever subscribed to in my life. Because I loved how they shot bands. I loved how they shot celebrities. I studied every image, every concept of Rolling Stone. Without Rolling Stone, there is no New Rums Media. And then, not 2 hours ago, Rolling Stone decides to put out the 50 worst decisions in movie history. One of the stupidest, backwards priority fucking clickbait lists I've ever read in my life. I am going to give you some fucking highlights from the top 20 alone. Okay, here we go. Number 20. Once Upon a Time in America, cut beyond recognition for its American release. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, understandable. Theodore Rex at number 19. Okay, sure. That's not exactly the worst thing in history. It's a bad movie. Number 18. The Hays Code. Okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. Number 17. Gus Van Sant creates a shot-for-shot recreation of Psycho. What? Gus? No. No. The Hays Code should at least be fucking top 5. Because the Hays Code was right-wing fucking censorship that wouldn't be repealed until 1968. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I love classic cinema, but I'm not exactly someone who will, repeat watch classic cinema. Because you can't help but think of the limitations of the time and how Hollywood decided to self-censor themselves before the government could. Number 16, Jar Jar Binks. Okay, look, I hate Jar Jar Binks, but the man almost fucking killed himself over this role. No. I'm tired of fucking bullshit like this. I hate Jar Jar Binks. It's not the worst thing that happened to Hollywood. He was a toy sale, nothing more, nothing less. Number 15, MGM gets a teenage Judy Garland hooked on prescription pills. Okay, sure. Number 14, Columbia Pictures passes on E.T. and Back to the Future and Pulp Fiction. Okay. Columbia Pictures being really stupid. Okay, sure. Number 13, Breakfast at Tiffany's casts Mickey Rooney as a Japanese caricature. But what's hilarious about this entry is some of the other entries earlier in this list were written by somebody who felt as if they are constantly on Twitter. Twitter is life to them. And 2 of those examples being earlier in the list, American Beauty winning Best Picture, which, say what you will about that film, I still do like that movie. I wouldn't repeat watch that given current events with Kevin Spacey, but that was one of the films that turned me on to indie filmmaking. I do have a soft spot for that film. the better choice would be Crash or Green Book taking Best Picture. And then there was the whole Darth Vader rape scene in Revenge of the Nerds. Like, yeah, those are credible. But the way this starts off is judging pop cultural creations of the past through the prism of the present can sometimes be unfair. And yet those two entries I mentioned did exactly that. I mean, get on the same level with your writers and editors. Jesus Christ. Standards change over time, and jokes that once landed without a hint of controversy are now seen as deeply offensive. And yet, you didn't tell the perpetually online Twitter users that earlier. But yeah, I do agree with Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's at number 13 otherwise. It's just that the hypocrisy is hilarious. Number 12, The Day the Clown Cried. We're probably never going to see that movie. Number 11, Battlefield Earth. Well, okay, sure. I wouldn't call it the worst decision ever made. Just a vanity project. Everybody has one. Number 10, using real untrained lions in the Melanie Griffith movie Roar. Okay. Now that's something you put in the top 10. Number 9, Ronald Reagan rats out communists. Okay, something you put in the top 10. Number 8, Warner Brothers loses Home Alone to Fox over a measly $3 million. Yeah, that's a shitty business decision. Very shitty business decision, especially given Warner Brothers is involved. Number 7, Twilight Zone movie fails to take proper safety precautions. An adult and 2 children die. I mean, okay, yeah, sure, this does deserve to be on the list. It's not like we're going to see something really stupid that follows this up, are we? Number 6, Lord and Miller get fired from Solo midway through production. What? No. This shouldn't even rank. Yes, I too was pissed Lord and Miller got fired from Solo. But over the deaths of Rob Morrow and 2 children who were undocumented, decapitated. No. How is this going to get worse? Number 5, Matt Damon turns down Avatar, including 10% of the back end. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Wah, you had to do Born Identity and miss out on money. Eat me. I mean, it's not going to get worse than that. Number 4, The Slap. Fucking what? Yes, The Slap is shocking, but not like top 5 worst decisions ever in Hollywood. I'd call that poor judgment. And if anything, Will Smith was in the right to slap Chris Rock. As here's Chris Rock making pointed insults at Jada Pinkett Smith, who is suffering from alopecia. No, fuck you, Rolling Stone. I mean, it can't get much worse than that. Blockbuster gets an offer by Netflix for $50 million in 2000, turns it down. Sure. That is a stupid decision. Number 2, Burt Reynolds turns down James Bond, The Godfather, Star Wars, Pretty Woman, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Somehow worse than children getting executed, Melanie Griffith and her family almost getting murdered in the name of a movie. No, and even then, I really don't see Burt Reynolds in those roles. Hell, I don't think Reynolds himself saw himself in those roles, as he famously said he couldn't see an American playing James Bond. No, he was right to turn down those parts. I mean, there's surely a number 1 reason that's worth it. Racist movie The Conqueror gives its cast cancer, probably definitely kills John Wayne. I take the probably out of there, but yeah. The Conqueror, I see more as karma. The Conqueror filming on nuclear test sites, no, that's not shock. If anything, if I were to choose a number one, I'd say Harvey Weinstein. I'd say all the people who signed to ensure Roman Polanski gets all charges dropped. Woody Allen. This is one of the most bonkers, batshit insane fucking lists ever. And speaking of, so Will Smith slapping somebody is somehow more of a mistake than MGM pilling up Judy Garland, or the Hays Code, or Ronald Reagan ratting out communists, or no. I can't get over how shitty the top 10 just of this list alone is. It's one of the worst pieces of journalism I've ever read. You know what? Let's whittle down this list of Gen Z whining. Get rid of 40 of these entries, most of which fucking repeat themselves. And let's do the real top 10. Number 10, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway's La La Land Air. Number 9, then Democrat Ronald Reagan throwing communists under the bus in Hollywood during McCarthyism. Number 8, The Conqueror gives everyone cancer. Number 7, Idiocracy not getting a wide release. Number 6, Michael Oher's depiction in The Blind Side. Number 5, Movie 43. Number 4, Untrained Lions attacking the actors of War on set. Number 3, MGM pilling up Judy Garland as a teen. Number 2, The Hays Code, because it's 35% of this fucking list. And my number 1 is, of course, John Landis getting away with murder. There. I reduced this shitty list down to 10, fucking George Carlin style. Do better, Rolling Stone. Quit putting out these bullshit lists for content and go back to writing actual articles. The articles that fed my soul. Not these idiotic lists written by members of Gen Z who don't give a shit. That being said, be sure to like, comment, share, spread the word New Rums Media. Follow me on all my socials at New Rums Media. And until then, I'll see you next time.